Right, so there we go, guys. It finished Newcastle United 0, Arsenal 2, and you know what? I don't know what to say about that match today. It was very, very strange for me. It was a strange atmosphere. Into the first half. We started really well. We went at Arsenal. We created a brilliant chance. Jacob Murphy, lovely move, cut inside, left foot onto the post. Could have gone either way. It hit the post and came straight out, unfortunately. Sometimes that'll hit the post and go in. Unfortunately for us today, it didn't go that way. We then had the penalty incident. We all thought behind that goal that was a stonewall penalty, but a lot of people have said after the game that it did come up off his leg and hit his hand, which is why the penalty wasn't given. I'm not sure I still agree with that, to be honest, because his hand was out to block the ball. But listen, the referee... he didn't lose us the game today. Let's be honest, we lost it because we weren't good enough today, unfortunately. However, that referee, Chris Kavanagh, is one of the worst referees in the Premier League. There is not a shadow of a doubt about it. He had no control over those players today. He was bottling it every time that he needed to speak to Arsenal players who kept throwing themselves to the ground, kept rolling around, and because the referee showed no authority, they continue to do it, as you would. If you're not getting stopped for it, then why should you? Arsenal came to Newcastle today with a game plan, whether you agree with the game plan or not. I didn't agree with their game plan to roll around and waste time, but they did it and they frustrated us and ended up winning the game. We've said many times this season that teams have come to St James's Park and tried to play football and tried to pass around us and it hasn't worked. And for Arsenal, to their credit, they came with a game plan, stuck to it and got the result. So whatever we think of that, it's irrelevant. We lost the game. I thought we were very tentative today. We didn't go in at them like we normally do, closing down very quickly and scurrying around. We looked a bit lethargic, and we gave Arsenal far too much time on the ball. That's something that I noticed mainly in the second half when Arsenal were attacking the Leazes end, that they were given a lot of time on the ball. They were allowed to pass around us, and we weren't getting stuck in and winning the ball and breaking away like we normally do. But we huffed and puffed. That's as good as I can say it was today. We huffed and puffed. Maxi did come on late in the second half. He did okay. Created a couple of opportunities, but again, the Isak Wilson thing that a lot of people spoke about before the game, it didn't quite work for me today. Isak on the left, he did some good things, some really good things, but when he got to certain positions, there was nothing ahead of him. Callum didn't look like he was at the races today, unfortunately. But look, we're going to have these days, guys. It's as simple as that. We're going to have these days where things don't quite work for us, or the opposition frustrates us and gets the benefit of that. It happens in football, and unfortunately, it's happened for us today, and we've come away with nothing. What's important now is the fact that, Champions League qualification is still in our hands. It is very much still in our hands to go and get. And I believe that Eddie will, regalvanate the troops during the week. We'll have some good training sessions and we'll go to Leeds at lunchtime on Saturday and hopefully come away with the 3 points. I hate these lunchtime kickoffs. That's the only thing that worries me about going to Leeds is the afternoon kickoff. I hate them because we haven't performed on lunchtime kickoffs all season. But we'll just have to see how it is. But as for player-wise, look, Nick Pope made some very good saves today. Very good saves, or it could have been a bigger score. I don't think his kicking was anything to be proud of, though. I thought it was poor. But his shot stopping was magnificent today. But unfortunately, it's one of those things. We just weren't at the races. If anyone now thinks that we don't miss Sean Longstaff when he's not on that side, you need to open your eyes, guys, because Bruno is ineffective because he has to play that Longstaff position and it doesn't work. Joe comes deeper, that doesn't work either. And people need to start appreciating the stuff that Longstaff does, because what Longstaff does is very, very important to Newcastle United. So hopefully he'll be fit for the Leeds game, because if he's not, I don't know what he does. I don't think he goes with the Wilson-Isak system again. It didn't work for the full 90 minutes today. Yes, there's an impact. Definitely works, but not from the start, and that's unfortunately how it was today. It was one of those frustrating games. But as for the referee, I mean, he was dog dirt, absolute shock, and he had no authority. he's one of the worst in the Premier League. There's no doubt about that in my mind. But it was just one of those frustrating games. But we move on, guys, and that's the main thing. We get our heads back up. It's still in our hands, and it's still all to do. But there's still an awful long way to go. You know, we've said it millions of times. It's just not that easy in the Premier League. Nothing is guaranteed, and you have to work for what you earn in this Premier League. So let's just see what happens with Leeds next week. Well, thank you very much for watching the reaction, guys. Please do hit that like button, and if you're new to the channel, like what you see, also subscribe. We're well on the way to 20,000 now, and with your help, we can get there sooner rather than later. But thank you, guys, and we'll see you very soon. Take care.